Hello my dear viewers, welcome back to another tutorial. Welcome back to a sewing tutorial, and today we are going to sew our square line spaghetti strap dress. I have linked a video on how to draft a pattern for a square line spaghetti strap dress in the description box below. So without further delays, please let us start. So as usual, these are the materials needed. Here we have our white pencil. I'm using it to draw on my fabric, tape measure. I have scissors for the fabric, and here I have pins. I'll use these ones, but also have the patterns, okay, for the back as well as for the front. So these are the pieces for the top, but for the bottom, remember we said we are just going to have a piece of a fabric. This piece will be cut into the length and the width, okay? This will be the width and that will be the length. So for the measurement of the length, we will measure the front pattern, okay, here, and the back. And as you remember, our width is 13. So there will be some changes. I want to remove the extra flare that we added. You remember we added 2.5 inches. So I'm going to remove, and I have redrawn our hemline, as you can see, to remove the sharp corners, okay? Okay, so after that I measured the length from this point here up to the end for the back as well as for the front. And for the back I got 18, and for the front 24 inches. Now the total for the length is 42, and that one for the width is 13. But for the length you must times 2, because remember our pattern is in half. Okay, so just to get the basics before cutting the fabric, remember right sides are facing each other, okay? And I've folded my fabric, as you can see, and the center front and the center back will lie on this fold. We have already added the seam allowance for our neckline as well as for our arm side, but now we need to add the seam allowance for our side seam. For the side seam allowance, I added only 0.5 inches. And so I'll do the same for the back pattern and then cut our fabric. So here are our patterns ready, okay? Here we have the lining. I'm going to use the same fabric for the lining. And here we have our front pattern with the lining. So I measured 5 inches down from our arm side. So I want the lining to cover the boobs, and that's why I measured from here to here only 5 inches. And so here I have 2 pieces for the bottom, and these are the pieces for the strap, which are 2 inches in width. Okay, so for our bottom piece, like we said, it's just this rectangular shape, okay? And we are measuring for the front and back, and we got 42. But remember, with 42 we need to times 2 for the whole length of our back and front pieces, okay? So we are going to have 84 plus 1 inch, that is 85. That will be the length of one piece of this rectangular shape. And for the width, we are going to have 13 plus 1. Okay, that 1 inch is for the seam allowance. We will join it to the top piece as well as for the hemming. So before we join our side seam, I wanted to add a pocket, okay? And I measured from the arm side to where I want the pocket to be. So from my arm side, I'm measuring from half an inch. Remember we took half an inch when we were drawing the arm side. And so I want my pocket to start from 8.5 from the arm side, okay? So put your mark to where you want your pocket to start. Okay, so take your pattern paper and draw the size of your hand as the size of your pocket. Then take your curved ruler and draw well the lines of your pocket. Okay, so here is our pocket, and this is our side seam. We are going to cut 4 pieces. But before that, add seam allowance all around as well as on the side of the side seam. So here are the pieces, 4 of them, okay, as you can see, and we've cut them right side facing each other, okay. So now we are going to remove the pin from the side seam from where you want your pocket to start, and these are 2 pieces of the pockets. So open your side seam, that is the right side, then take your pocket piece, one of your pocket piece, making sure where it is facing down like that, and that is the right side, making sure the right side of your pocket is facing the right side of your fabric, and place where the pocket should start. This is where it starts, where there is a mark, okay, making sure the side seam align well, secure with the pin first. So this piece is inside facing down, but after we've sewn it, we'll take it out like that. Then take your last piece of the pocket. This is the right side, making sure the right side of the pocket faces the right side of your bodice, and make sure you attach it where it should start. After aligning, take the pins and secure the pocket pieces, just like we do here, and then after that, tuck it inside. Remember, our side seam allowance is 0.5 inches, so we are going to sew from the start of the pocket up to the end. So after sewing, take out the piece like this and iron the seam so that it lays flat. Do the same for the other part too, and then sew at the top of the pocket on this line. So we have already sewn, and it will look like this, okay? Now take your other piece, which has already sewn just like that, and align them together. And then now we are going to start to sew. This is our seam, okay? We're going to start from our arm side up to here, then we'll go all around the pocket, then down to the hem. Okay, so we've started from our arm side up to where our pocket starts. So turn your fabric, and now we are going to sew all around our pocket. Okay, so we have reached here at the end of the pocket. We are going now to turn again, and now we are going to sew all the way up to the hem. Okay, so here we are done. As you can see, we have sewn all around. Now let us turn our dress, and this is from outside. That's where your pocket is. Okay, so this is our facing, joined at the side seam on both sides. Before joining it to our bodies, we need to take care of our straps, okay, as you can see. So what I did, I just folded 1/2 inch on either side, just like that. Then again fold at the center and sew at one end here. Okay, so take your facing and your bodies, making sure right sides are facing each other. Then start from the side seam. Align the side seam of your facing as well as that of the bodies, okay, just like this, and then secure it with a pin, and do the same for the other side too. So after that, align well your fabric with the facing. So before sewing our neckline, we need to attach our strap. So with our strap, I want the side which is sewn to face the arm side and where it is folded to face the neckline. Okay, so here is our strap. Okay, just insert it between the facing and your dress, your bodice. Okay, just like that. This is the folded part and this is the part where it is sewn. So put your strap like that. Okay, make sure it is aligned well and then secure it to the pin and do the same on the other side. After that, start to sew from one end of your side seam to the other end of the side seam. Okay, we are done. Okay, we have started from a side seam. So if you want to turn, this is how it will look like. Okay, just like that. Now let us take care of the other side. Now in order to see well, let us turn our dress on our back bodice. Okay, this is our back bodice, as you can see. Okay, and this is our front part and with the straps out. Okay, so you take your strap and you insert it between the facing and the back bodice, just like this. Okay, and then you take your pin and you secure it. So you see how our strap is attached. And now we are going to sew from where we left, from the side seam to the other end. Okay, so here we are done, and now let us turn our dress inside out. Okay, so now let us take care of our arm side as well as our neckline. Remember, they are slightly curved, so we need to have small cuts all around so that the seam can lie flat. And then iron, and here is our dress. So now we are going to attach the bottom part of our dress, this one. Remember, we had two pieces, so I've just joined them to have one long piece of the fabric. So I'm going to make gathering by hand because with the machine, the fabric, it is too long and I do not have a gathering foot. Okay, so here it is. Our gatherings are done, and I tried to make sure that I spaced them evenly. And now let us measure. Okay, we need to have approximately 40 inches as I have folded. Here we have two pieces. So now here we are sure of the length measurement. Make sure to tuck your needle like this so that there will be no movement to disrupt the measurement. So here we have ripped open one of the side seam of our top piece. So take one side of your side seam of the top part and attach it to the bottom piece. You start from where you have started to gather, the end where you have started to make the gatherings. Okay, so align them together and secure with a pin, and continue while adjusting the gatherings to attach these two pieces all around. So we are almost at the end, but you can see our bottom piece, this whole part has remained when you compare to the top piece where we have only that part. Okay, so now remember we tucked our needle. Okay, so now take out the needle and try to pull the thread to make more gatherings to reduce the amount of your fabric. And now you can see, okay, so they almost fitted here after making the gatherings. Put a pin and then try to fit the gatherings well and then sew. Okay, so here we are. Our bottom part is ready, as you can see. Okay, so this is how it will look from inside. Okay, overlock this side of the facing and then attach it to the side seam, and then finish by sewing at the top of the straps. So here is the dress, the top part of the dress. As you can see, it has fit very well. And here is the front part, the side, and the back part of the dress. Thank you so very much for watching.